looking towards a future where machines do all the thinking for us. And as much as we try to guard against that with critical thinking and dinner time conversations, it's still gonna take a chunk out of our thinking. The person who can do things, build things, fix things, grow things, make something real with their hands is the one holding the cards. Things like carpentry, cooking, fixing their bike, wiring their electricity, plumbing, growing a tomato. I know it sounds like nostalgia or like maybe we're working backwards, but it isn't. This is a core and key strategy. Let me convince you. Let me start with the cold logic. For now, we're most worried about AI that's in a computer, not robots in the real world, although they're coming rapidly behind. So AI can write an award-winning sonnet, whilst it simultaneously completely loses itself doing your taxes. But it cannot board a plane, wire a plug, set a bone, give a massage, or get dinner on the table. At least not yet. You remember those job numbers that we discussed? While the desk jobs are dropping like flies, the trade jobs are screaming for people. And at the moment, Gen Z is running towards them. Physical skill just became a rare commodity, and rare equals valuable. It is possible that in this AI future, the kid who can still make something beautiful or useful could be just fine economically. Maybe this is the swing back of years of taking everything digital, of everything being a desk job, of all of us becoming anywhere people and a laptop elite class that can travel the world and work anywhere as long as we have our keyboard. Maybe this is the swing back towards a connection with the land, with materials, with processes, with the real physical Newtonian world. Maybe this is about people missing that and now moving back towards answering that need. So maybe there will be financial security for our children. But honestly, I think this is relevant even beyond the potential to make a living out of it. Because for whatever reason, maybe this isn't where the money's going to be. But there's still a very real psychological reason bringing back handiwork is a great idea as our children develop. Screens might give kids a hit of dopamine, it might give them entertainment, it might fill long hours of boredom. But when a kid builds a shelf or arranges flowers or bakes cookies, that's when they really form their sense of self as a real person with real efficacy in the world. A finished shelf gives a kid a sense of self. There is something a child and any of us get from creating something in the real world. From making something that they can hold, that has weight, that either works or it doesn't, that no app will ever hand them. And it's called competence. And competence is where confidence actually comes from. We can't just praise a child into confidence, telling them you're smart, you're beautiful, you're amazing. That creates a bubble, like an inflated ego that is easily popped. But true confidence comes from earning it. It comes from trying to do hard things, from hammering a nail into wood, from trying to build something out of Lego rather than Minecraft, where there are no restrictions whatsoever, from actually doing the thing in the real world, making the salad that they then actually get to eat and that the family gets to enjoy, rather than pressing buttons on a screen and just, receiving imaginary rewards. Of all the websites, apps, courses, programs, books I've ever built, written, created, the thing that has brought me the most inner satisfaction was building a rocking horse for my children. Sawing the wood, hammering the nails, sanding it all down, polishing it, and actually having a physical product that is real in the real world. Because when you build a house in Minecraft, you can build it floating in the air. You can create without any kind of restrictions. You have endless bricks and materials and you can always get more. But when you build with Lego in the real world, it has to actually adhere to the Newtonian laws of physics. You can't just invent things and imagine things. You're working within constraints. And usually it's actually the constraints that create creativity and competence. Because there's friction. You have to deal with real struggle. You could actually get a splinter or get hurt. It could fall, it could break. You could waste expensive materials. You could make something that doesn't work. You could burn the food. And there's no Control Z reset button. You can't just erase what you did. You can't just go back in time. There's no real life pause or edit or filter to the real world. And that friction is exactly what kids need. They need the flat cake that fell because we forgot to put in the baking powder. They need their first batch of cookies to be, frankly, inedible. They need that splinter that they get because they forgot to put on gloves. That is not failure. That's the entire point. That's that anti-fragility we were talking about. It's how we grow stronger. They don't break under a little bit of stress, they actually grow from it. They get stronger by doing slightly hard things and surviving them. The workshop, the kitchen, the garden, this is the new playground. We're bringing back apprenticeship, baby. So if you want to raise kids for an AI future, where the machine basically replaces our thinking and knows everything faster and easier than us, give them real-life challenges that machines can't do for them. Help them start to train for their marathon or build muscles or learn to cook or train dogs or create their own jewelry. Help them learn to work a sewing machine or a jigsaw or a camera. Let them learn to repair their own bike, to play an instrument, to swim 40 laps, to grow and tend a garden, or to care for little children. So here's the assignment for all of us parents. Kids should be really involved in chores in our house. Even if you can afford household help all day, every day, make sure that your children know how to sweep, how to clean, how to cook, how to do their own laundry, and help them develop real-world skills that bring to competence. Not a class, not an activity, not an outing, something that they practice again and again. Something they're allowed to be genuinely bad at for a while until they master it. Something that brings real-life value to your family. And then protect that skill like it matters, because it really does. Every kid in our homes needs to be good at something in the real world that they can do with their hands. I don't care what it is, the screen can wait. They've got to learn how to be embodied in the real world and see what processes are like, from ideation to failure to rejection to trying and trying and trying again and developing a skill. They need the embodied personal experience of starting from scratch, knowing nothing, complete newbie, struggling and failing, and then slowly overcoming. That's an experience that AI is going to rob from them on the intellectual front. And that's why we're going to bring it to them outside of the screen. And this brings us to the biggest question of all, perhaps an unanswerable philosophical question, perhaps, or a question for you to turn towards your faith. What is life even for? If a job isn't at the center of it, how are our kids going to create meaning? Don't skip this one.